We have a full moon coming up on tomorrow, Wednesday, October 8th. Here on the West Coast, the moon is exactly full around, I think it's around, what is it, 3:51 a.m. Um, it's actually also a lunar eclipse, and it's a full lunar eclipse. I'm going to read you a little bit from the California Academy of Sciences information on eclipses. Let's see, it is actually going to be visible throughout most of the Americas, and should be fully visible here in California or on the West Coast. And it begins at around 2:14 a.m. With the moon descending towards the western horizon. Totality lasts from 3:25 to 4:24 a.m. and the eclipse ends at 5:34 a.m. Usually, a lunar eclipse shows our emotional nature, our needs for nurturing and for emotional connection, being overshadowed by the Earth. Really, the shadow of the Earth falls on the moon. So the notion of like what's grounded and practical, what we feel we have to do. Kind of burdening our emotions. It can be easy to feel overwhelmed, in particular with this lunar eclipse and this full moon. This is a very interesting one with a very interesting set of aspects. Now, interesting could be thought of in the Chinese curse, may you have an interesting life. There are some very positive aspects that can help you out here, but the actual aspects involved in the full moon and in the lunar eclipse are quite challenging. They should be bringing up a certain amount of anger, aggression, impatience, short temper, having a really short rope in terms of your ability to stand almost anything. There could be a strong sense of being overwhelmed and feeling like you have to run in a million different directions, and that your emotions and your needs in the midst of it all are not being taken care of. At this point, as the full moon approaches, that can be kind of shifting from this kind of edgy, angry, anxiety-like, or impatient, irritable quality to something a little bit more depressed. This is all part of what one can be experiencing with this full moon. However, the positive aspects here, and there are some very positive aspects, they emphasize spirituality, they emphasize communication, they definitely emphasize partnership and communication to others, rather than there can be a real sense of power struggle or of feeling at impossible odds, and like you're just going to break with it. In these circumstances, it's very important to call upon, to recognize one's own good fortune. That's one good thing. To do things that like kind of get you out into the world in sort of a friendly and not necessarily very intense sort of way, although it's good one-on-one to talk personally to those. To actually engage in those one-on-one conversations that you need, to get to the deeper levels. There is a really aggressive, eruptive sort of energy here that really, there can be any emotion that's suppressed or not owned is going to erupt in a really unpleasant, explosive sort of way. And sometimes it's just good to know that. Sometimes it's just enough to know that that's what's going to be happening. Given that there's this lunar eclipse, it's also important to remember to take care of yourself. Really, that's probably the best thing you can do. You're going to feel like you have to take care of others. You're going to feel overwhelmed by that. You're going to feel that everybody else is pressing upon you with their needs, and that this is taking precedence, and forces beyond your control are making this take precedence over everything else. But that's not true. If you don't, as my father says, pay yourself first, you won't have anything left to pay anybody else. And that's really the thing that you should take away from this full moon lunar eclipse. If you don't pay yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, not only will you not have anything to give anybody else, but what you will give them is likely to be very, very unpleasant. All right, take care of yourself. If you explode, cut yourself some slack. You probably needed to do that. And try to enjoy the good aspects, because underneath it all, the good aspects tell you, really, you are so much more fortunate than you know. So much more fortunate. All this stuff that's weighing you down, it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. You can enjoy yourself, even just a little bit. Talk to you soon. Bye.